Hi, my name is Cody Morrison. I'm a brown belt. I have about 8 years of experience doing Jiu Jitsu and about 25 years of total martial arts experience. I have been rather lucky and fortunate to have only experienced ringworm a handful of times. I've never actually had staph. I try to keep myself and my gear and my training area very clean in order to avoid that. So I'll go into a little bit of detail about those three topics, starting with your environment because that is the most important and something that we all need to chip in and help as part of being good teammates. That means cleaning the mats after every class. And I know that that might not be the most convenient thing, and it's not always the fun thing to do, but it's very necessary. I remember when I was a white and blue belt, I cleaned mats all the time, and I'm sure that there is a willing and eager white and blue belt to clean mats. With that being said, your upper belts, your purple, brown, and black, should be the first one to grab the cleaning equipment. They set the example and they set the tone when it comes to having a clean environment and clean mats to train on. The next topic would be shoes. This one's a no-brainer. Don't walk with your shoes onto the mat. We walk the earth with these shoes, and we pick up all sorts of wonderful critters on the bottom of our shoes. We then walk onto that mat, and then we rub each other's faces into the mat. So you can imagine that's not great exposure. What goes hand in hand with that is being barefoot. So we are always barefoot on the mat. When we step off of the mat, you should be wearing sandals or slip-ons or something to cover your feet. Please do not step off the mat and then step back onto the mat without first cleaning your feet. And please, please, please do not go into the bathroom without shoes on. I'll say that one more time. Do not go into the bathroom without shoes on. That is the number one reason for most staph infections is the transfer of fecal matter from the bottom of your feet onto the training surface or the mat. I can't say that enough. And usually when you're first starting to train, you don't think about it as much and need to be reminded. So if we can all hold each other accountable, that'll all keep us, safe from those skin infections. The next thing is a little bit more local, just keeping yourself and your gear clean. Uh, the less direct skin contact, the better. This means wearing a rash guard underneath your gi. If you're training no gi, long spats, long sleeved rash guard is best. I do realize that in some parts of the world it gets really hot. I can appreciate that. I do train from time to time just in Vale Tudo shorts. I have training partners that train with me specifically when I do have a no-gi match coming up, and they are all okay with that. So again, check with your training partners, see what they're okay with. I know that some gyms require that rash guard underneath for not only hygiene purposes but also just being polite. Not everybody wants a big hairy chest on their face while they're trying to do jujitsu. Um, I think also keeping your gear clean kind of goes hand in hand with keeping yourself clean. I have another video that I'll link in the bottom for keeping your gear clean, just basically washing your rash guards and your gi and how to not get that dreaded wet smell. Um, Basically, it smells good coming out of the washer and the dryer, but then as soon as it gets wet again, all that bacteria is reactivated and smells again. So there's some tricks and things like that that you can do. Just see my video below. Um, Keeping clean also means that showing up to class clean. So if I'm the type of person I train at 6 a.m. and when I can make it, I will train in the afternoon and then I will train in the evening. In my previous work, I had a little bit more flexibility around my training schedule. Now I can only really train in the morning or the evening. So I really try to make sure that if I have sweat, if I've come in contact with any kind of dirt or just anything that I wouldn't want to share with my teammates, I take a quick shower before I go and train. This is not only just, again, polite, but you don't want to be the stinky, smelly person that no one wants to roll with. And part of that is just not only keeping your gear clean, but keeping your person clean as well too. Um, as far as getting done with training, you should shower immediately. Most of the time, I would recommend no longer than an hour if you can help it. But if you can't, uh, you can use things like tea tree oil or defense soap or defense wipes. A lot of my teammates use, and they will wipe down their exposed areas like the head, neck, arms, feet, uh, those kind of things to get them through until they can take a shower. So that is, preventative until you can take a shower. But when you do shower, you need antibacterial soap. Soap that just smells really nice is not actually cleaning the surface of your skin and getting rid of all those nasty creatures. You need to have some sort of antibacterial, um, soap, wash, something. Uh, this also kind of goes without saying, but if you have a cut or an open wound, you need to cover it, and it needs to be gauzed and then taped to hell. When you start sweating and moving around, depending on the quality of your tape, it could just come straight off. It could no longer be in the same spot that you put it in. It's just a lot of things that could happen. And now you have an exposed open wound to a lot of bacteria. Most of it is harmless as long as it doesn't get into your body. But having an open wound is ripe for infection, especially staph. So if you do see any kind of wound irritation, any kind of pus or leaking or anything that would be out of the normal healing process for that wound, you should go see a doctor immediately. Do not go on the internet. Do not ask for advice on Reddit. Go see a doctor and show them before that skin infection turns into something that is a lot worse. A lot of people joke, but I'm also talking about paper cuts and, like a hangnail, things like that. Those are just as easily infiltrated by dirt and bacteria as larger wounds are. The last thing that I'll say is just kind of, be smart about who you roll with. Not everybody is the best person to match up with you. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, me. I'm a big dude that competes a lot, and sometimes I do no-gi submission only, and I like to just wear shorts and nothing else. That is just part of me being comfortable out on the mat. There are other folks that will wear full spats with long sleeve rash guards all the way down. It may make you feel uncomfortable to roll with someone as exposed as myself. That is why I have training camps and I go and work and roll with people who are okay and comfortable with that and know me very well. So walking up to the guy with the big brown smelly gi and asking for a roll is probably not great if you don't know them. A lot of people do the best they can to keep their gear clean, but rolling with people with clean gear is the best way to avoid skin infections. That big brown smelly gi probably hasn't been washed regularly, or if it has, it probably hasn't been washed properly. So just remember that choose your training partners wisely to make sure that you don't accidentally expose yourself to any nasty skin infections. At the end of the day, if you have questions about cleanliness, if you have anything that you want to discuss as far as with another student or with the facility itself, all these things should be brought up to your coach. If you do have a good relationship with that student, teammate, and you want to approach them and just kindly remind them about cleanliness rules, that's perfectly fine. But I would highly recommend going to your coach and speaking to them first to be able to let them handle the situation. I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, just leave a comment below. I love hearing from you guys, and hope you have a great day.